and welcome here as we begin a new season of NNSCRA Hersheys Cup Series action, getting ready to kick things off at Daytona Speed Weeks with the non-points third annual running of the NNSCRA Clash at Daytona. 24 laps of racing, and we've got a total, I believe, of 22 drivers in this field, all with a chance of taking the first checkered flag of Season 4. Basically how these drivers made their way in, they had a pole last season or they are a former winner of this event. Two drivers that are former winners of this event are in this field here tonight. So let's go through the running order as quickly as possible so that way we are able to get you guys going in a timely fashion. Joshua Michaels will start on the pole position. Joshua Michaels had 2 poles last season at Rockingham, UK and the summer race at Daytona. Alongside of him is Keith Batson in the Lincoln this season. Keith Batson ended up having a pole last season at Rockingham, North Carolina. Then you've got Levi McIntyre, number 99. McIntyre with a pole last season at Chicagoland. Alongside of him, Tim Walsh in the number 15 for Michael Norman Motorsports, 2-time pole sitter last season at Eldora and Kentucky. Then you got Anthony McCrory in the 61. McCrory makes his way in as the winner of the second annual Clash at Daytona last season. And alongside of him is Chris Dodd, former champion of the Hersheys Cup Series. Chris Dodd had a pole position at M&M Speedway and Infineon last year. Let's get the command to fire them up before I give you the rest of your starting lineup.
Drivers, start your engines!
There's the command. Dylan Young going to start alongside of Charles Sanford. Dylan Young, a former pole sitter last season at Arizona. Charles Sanford ended up having a total of 1 pole last season, and that was at Lime Rock. Dallas McIntosh, the new colors for Sega Motorsports team. McIntosh last season had a pole position at Talladega. Alongside of him, Cole Baker in the 18. Baker had a pole position at the Daytona 500 last year. Kyle Matthews, defending champion of the Hersheys Cup Series. Matthews had 3 poles last season at Las Vegas, South Boston, and Ottawa. Alongside of him, Dylan Posty, number 31. Posty had a pole position last season at Yosemite Super Road Course. JT Bryant, Starbound Force, out of Young Motorsports. JT had a pole position at Texas. Alongside of him, Zach Flickinger, number 74, 3-time pole sitter last season at Bristol, Indianapolis, and Homestead Miami Speedway. Jessica Shelton, good line up there for Richmond Enterprises, that Superdome Mountain Chevrolet. Jessica Shelton had pole position at both Phoenix and Talladega last year. Dodge Dark Look for Benjamin Miles this season, number 25. Benjamin Miles held a pole position last season at the short track of Salem. Brandon Gonzalez back in the Mitsubishi Lancer, number 23. Gonzalez had a pole position last season at 3 of them in Atlanta, Dover, and Springfield, Iowa. Alongside of him, Nathan Hudson, an App-Auto Chevrolet for Michael Norman Motorsports. Hudson had 4 poles last season at Richmond, Darlington, St. Joseph, and Michigan. Most poles last season. Joshua Cicoli, number 33, now for CJ Racing. Cicoli had a pole position at Charlotte last year and was also the inaugural Clash at Daytona winner back in Season 2. His teammate Lane Alvarez lines up alongside of him. Alvarez had a pole position at Oswego last year. And you got Blake Keys and Matt Haas. They are the final row. Blake Keys ended up having his pole position last season take place at Gravity City. And who was the last guy? It's Green. Who was the last guy? Oh, Matt Haas. Green flag is out as I really botched up that start. Wow, great way to start off the season, me. Matt Haas had a pole position last season at Taylor Swift Superdome. So as we are green for 24 laps of racing, caution flags would count. And Joshua Michaels able to check out. So we'll have to see if Anthony McCrory or Joshua Cicoli can be able to go to victory lane for the second time here in this event, or if we'll have a first-timer who would lock themselves up an automatic ticket into next season's Clash at Daytona. Michaels is gone as they are still battling back there. Keith Batson now slides his Lincoln down into the second position, just ahead of Charles Sanford and Cole Baker. And they are 3 wide further back there. Kyle Matthews, the defending champion, put in the middle. Dylan Post a little bit further up, also caught in the middle line between Zach Flickinger and Tim Walsh. And here comes Charles Sanford, big head of steam, big push by Cole Baker into 1. Michaels went down to block it, but could not do it. Charles Sanford and Cole Baker with a lightning entry into one, and now this may end up being 3 wide going into turn 3. Baker looks low on Sanford with Michaels to his outside. 3 wide into the corner. Baker going to make it work. Michaels left a rim ride on the top side. I think he might clear Sanford. He will, and he will at least lead that outside line back to the start-finish line. Cole Baker and Joshua Michaels, who's going to win out? Outside line's formed up a lot better, and Joshua Michaels, despite being caught in the outside of a 3 wide situation into the 3, still comes back to the line to lead that lap. The drivers falling to the back there. Jessica Shelton and Blaine Keys. Could be strategy. Quite a not a long race, but long enough that you don't have to really race it up here early on. Charles Sanford. Boy, what a season he had last year, and I don't mean in a good way. Coming off 3 wins in Season 2, found himself with a big goose egg in the win column. Didn't make the chase last year. Really trying to start off this season with a bang. Other thing we should also mention as well is that last season at Daytona, it was Seth Cole Baker Motorsports all the way. Anthony McCurry won the then Sprint Unlimited, now Clash at Daytona. Cole Baker sat on the pole for the 500, and then Sean Galligan completed the sweep by taking the checkered flag in the Great American Race. Only 2 representatives for Seth Cole Baker Motorsports here tonight, though, in McCurry's 61 and Baker's 18, but they're both right now running up inside the top 10, as here comes Zach Flickinger, number 74 out of Gardner Racing, that Dodge Dart team, which has a lot of affiliation with Fitzwater Australia Racing as well. Thought he might be able to make a move there on Joshua Michaels, but instead here comes Nathan Hudson to the inside in the 16. Nathan Hudson, Tim Walsh, representatives of Michael Norman Motorsports. Of course, Michael Norman, I don't know if, no, I don't think Michael Norman, even if he wasn't retired, would have been in this event. I don't think he had a pole last year. There were actually, no, there were only 2 other drivers that had poles last year that are not in this clash tonight. James Richardson had pole position at Bermuda last year, and then the other driver is the now retired Carson Scott. He had a pole at Watkins Glen last year, but both are not in this event. Richardson no longer running in the Hersheys Cup Series, now running full-time in the Pizza Hut X Series, and as mentioned, Carson Scott retiring from the series. Is now Nathan Hudson going to go for the lead underneath Joshua Michaels, and now he's got somebody helping him in Zach Flickinger. We saw how that outside line got formed up a lot better than the inside line, and again we're seeing it happen again. Dylan Poteet sticks with Joshua Michaels. Flickinger did not stay with Nathan Hudson. Outside line going to prevail at least through the entrance of the tri-oval, maybe down into 1, and indeed it will. Joshua Michaels continues to hang on to the top position, so Joshua Michaels has figured out something here early on, and that's that the outside line is the better line on the straightaways, it would seem. Here comes Nathan Hudson, going to try again, but nobody's going to go with him. Flickinger stays up high. So too does Joshua Sekuli in the 33. Now Sekuli's going to switch lanes and come down to help fellow Chevrolet Nathan Hudson. However, Nathan Hudson's in a Chevrolet SS, and Sekuli's in an Impala. So they are Chevrolets, but they're not the same Chevrolet. 3 wide further back there, you see the 08 Aaron's Dream Machine of Leon Alvarez trying to make his way up here to help his CJ Racing teammate Joshua Sekuli. It's like he's going to get to his back bumper, so now those 2 Chevy Impalas going to be able to work together. I've been waiting for that 23 car, that yellow and white car, to come up here to the front, because I want you to see the hubcaps on this Mitsubishi Lancer. They are just as trippy as can be, but awesome to look at. As here comes Hudson again, going to try to get the lead from Joshua Michaels. He's been trying but not succeeding. He might actually succeed now. He has cleared him off of turn 4. New leader, the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet of Nathan Hudson, out in front and leading the Clash at Daytona. The first time somebody's been able to get around that number 10 Honda Accord out of Axiom Rage Motorsports, Joshua Michaels. Hudson to the point. Michaels now tucks into second as they were 3 wide back there. Now looks like Flickinger might be able to slide down and hang on to third. And here comes Michaels back to the bottom. Nobody really down there. Here comes Flickinger. Flickinger with a big run. He might think about making it 3 wide into 3. Can't quite get to the right rear quarter panel of Michaels. And as soon as he loses the lead, Joshua Michaels going to gain it right back. It brings Flickinger and Alvarez along with him. And I believe all 22 drivers are still up here in this lead pack. I don't think we have any. Oh, we do have stragglers. Blaine Keys and Levi McIntyre have lost the draft. It looked like everybody was up here for the moment, but no. So McIntyre and Keys both need a caution badly now if they're going to have any hope of being able to get up here and contend for this win. We got 8 laps completed. We're on to lap 9, and I can't take it anymore. We're going to jump back here to the 23 car. Take a look at the hubs on this thing. Look at those Pokeballs go. That is unbelievable. That is so cool to see. Meanwhile, up front, CJ Racing have their teammates formed up. Well, they did as soon, but just like that, Zach Flickinger cuts right down in between them to get that 3rd position. Comes Flickinger now down to the bottom. Nathan Hudson's going to help him as they're going to work against Leon Alvarez. But all this again going on behind Joshua Michaels, who's kind of been the proverbial Pied Piper in this thing. He has given up the lead once to Nathan Hudson, took it right back, and he has been doing a tremendous job of controlling the draft, has Joshua Michaels. You gotta think if Michaels is able to have this kind of a performance, if he's able to qualify himself really well for the Daytona 500, you gotta look at him as one of the favorites. And here comes Flickinger now to the inside line. Question is, can they get formed up enough on that inside line to be able to help push that Dodge Dart to the front? He's got Joshua Sakuli down there with him. Alvarez thought about going down there, now steps up to the outside line. So there's 3 up top, 2 down low. Flickinger might be able to clear Michaels off of 2 if he can just slide up, and he does. So Flickinger uses the inside line to go to the point. There's the pace car, for anyone that was interested. And here comes CJ Racing. Whoa! Flickinger tried to throw the block, could not do it. Sakuli was to his left rear, side by side. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. That was an interesting exit for all drivers involved. It's like Sakuli lost some speed there. Something wrong with the 33? Sakuli now put in the middle line. That was weird. That was really weird. I know there's a bump over there in turn 4, but I didn't think that would affect him as bad. Yeah, there's something's amiss on that 33 car. Either that or, I don't know, maybe some power problem and he lost some speed, but that just stacked everybody up, and now they're going to go 3 wide, going into 3. Alvarez on the bottom, Hudson in the middle, Michaels on the high side. Alvarez has Sanford, Hudson has Dylan Young. And Alvarez, after all this, look at that, again, whoa! Did you see it right there? Charles Sanford. There's something over there. There is something wrong over there in turn 4. I don't know if there's some debris over there, or if someone's dropped some kind of fluid, but Sakuli kind of backed out of the throttle there on the inside, and Sanford just did the same thing. Or is that strategy? Sanford's getting a heck of a run now. Was he purposely hanging back? I don't know. Don't know for certain, but it kind of seems uncanny that it happened twice in the same place in 2 laps. They are 3 wide, several rows deep there for about the 5th position on back. And looky here, Charles Sanford and Kyle Matthews have found each other, and then not too far behind them, just behind JT Bryant, you've got Jessica Shelton. So Retro Racing Enterprises drivers have all found each other now, just past the halfway point. And I don't want to jinx it, but I think we may end up having the possibility of green flag pit stops. This thing has gone as long as it has, as you've got a couple of cars that are on the tail end of the lead lap there. Blaine Keys and Levi McIntyre, they have both found each other, and they're just trying to stay as far ahead as they can of this ferocious lead pack. Kyle Matthews, the defending champion. Big run with JT Bryant down the back straightaway. He'll take the lead going into 3. How would it be for Kyle Matthews coming off a championship season to win the first race, even though it's a non-points race, but still win the first race of the year here heading into season 4? Matthews now ahead of Alvarez, then you got Bryant, then Hudson, and Charles Sanford down to the tuck-in line at 5th. Well, maybe not. It's going to go for 4th place there off of Nathan Hudson. Hudson's got a teammate coming up to his back bumper soon, that 5-Hour Energy Chevrolet of Tim Walsh. And how this race changes all of a sudden. Joshua Michaels was dominating this thing. He slipped back now. I think he's running somewhere around the 9th, 10th position. As Matthews showing the way. Trying to remember. I think. Oh boy, I can't remember. Oh boy. I want to say that Kyle Matthews is a former Daytona 500. Oh, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah, he was. I'm almost absolutely certain he was. For some reason, I can't pull in whether it was Season 1 or Season 2, but I'm almost absolutely certain that he was a former Daytona 500 winner here in the Hersheys Cup Series. Doesn't matter now, though, because he's gotten shuffled way up to the high line along with Leon Alvarez. JT Bryant now to the point, and he's got a teammate not too far behind, right there in 3rd place, Dylan Young. Zach Flickinger, though, going to try and take the race lead. Flickinger, one of 2 Dodge Darts here in this field. And, whoa, look at Sanford peeking out of line pretty wide on Dylan Young. That even surprised me. I think it definitely surprised Dylan Young. Flickinger going to clear JT? No, not, well, he's trying to, and now he's left the door open down low for Charles Sanford, and Sanford's got help. Hudson, McIntosh, Michaels down there on the bottom. Charles Sanford going to go to the race lead. At least I think he is. That looks like he's going to clear JT Bryant. And Cole Baker is coming to pit road. Now this might be the start of pit stops, and it's going to be with 7 laps to go, so this might be the money stop for all these drivers. I didn't think they could make it all the way on fuel if we went green all the way. And Cole Baker deciding I'm going to come to a very nice, clean pit road, not where all the mayhem's going to be, when everybody decides to come down to the pit lane for their service. That could be a winning move. I don't know. We'll have to find out. A lot of times, though, at super speedways, you want to come down pit road with a lot of drivers, so that way you leave with a lot of drivers, and you end up staying in a somewhat fast draft. So is anybody going to come to pit road out of the lead pack this time? Baker may have started it. And now we may see a mass migration to the pit lane, and here we go. That's everybody. Oh, Sekuli, Dylan Young, Tim Walsh rubbing doors coming to the pit lane. That was close. Everybody's coming in. I don't think anybody is staying out. Now we got to see what these guys are going to do as far as the pit strategy. I mean, what do? Do you go with fuel only? Do you go with 4 tires? Do you go with 2 tires? They're going on the right sides, at least for Nathan Hudson. Alvarez doing the same. They're all going for at least right side tires. It's right side tires. 2 tires stop. There goes Flickinger. Hudson's down and away. So they're all going with right sides. Flickinger looks like he'll come out of pit road the leader. Hudson's second. Alvarez, Sanford, Matthews, JT Bryant, Leon Alvarez. Trouble back there. Jessica Shelton just got spun coming off pit road. She straightened it up, kept it going. That stacked him up, though, back from Poteet, Matt Haas, McCrory, and others. Tim Walsh has got some damage. Walsh has got some right side damage. That might have been from that contact between Joshua Sekuli, Dylan Young, and Walsh coming to pit lane. But now Flickinger is going to come out as the race leader, and it's going to take them a little bit of time to bunch up, and when he hits the line next time by, it is 5 laps to go. Here comes Nathan Hudson. Big run on the outside. Is there a problem on the 74? I guess not. I guess Hudson just got a big slipstream run down the back straightaway, and Hudson is gone. So 5 laps to go. Nathan Hudson, the leader. Flickinger in second. Then it's Alvarez, Matthews, Sanford. That is the top 5. Cole Baker came down an empty pit road. He has cycled around now in the 6th position. 7th place is going to be Joshua Sekuli. 8th, JT Bryant. 9th, Tim Walsh, and Dylan Young right now in 10th with McIntosh behind him in 11th. And then there's the big gap. The reason there's the big gap is because Shelton got spun coming off of pit road. Everyone had to slow down to avoid, and now they may all be out of it. So now, can anyone form up quickly enough to catch Nathan Hudson's Chevrolet? It's really split up the field for sure, but if Alvarez can get up to Flickinger, 2 cars will produce a lot more speed than 1, but they got to do it quick. There's only 4 laps remaining. Alvarez has now caught Flickinger, so maybe they can start going to work on running him down. You got Kyle Matthews, Charles Sanford back there. They might be able to work together. May end up being a race of 2-car tandems here. Alvarez and Flickinger have now caught each other. Now, if they remain single file, which they are not doing, that's not going to help them. That's actually going to allow Kyle Matthews, Charles Sanford, Cole Baker to catch these 2. Alvarez now going to pass Flickinger, and here comes Matthews. Looks like they might have closed the gap up a little, but they can't have closed it up much with them racing each other. It'll be 3 to go. And now is something wrong with Flickinger? Flickinger's car just does not seem to have a lot of speed right now. He lost the lead to Hudson. He's now lost 2nd to Alvarez, 3rd to Matthews. Sanford now looking for 4th. I don't know if that 74 might have had something happen to it. I mean, look how quickly Sanford's now sucked up to his back bumper. Let's see if Matthews makes a move on Alvarez here. Maybe it's because of the car behind getting a big run. I think that might be the case. Yeah, Matthews getting a big run here on Leon Alvarez, using that momentum to go to the inside, but this is hurting these guys more than helping them. It's actually giving the, kind of waving the proverbial white flag and saying, okay, we surrender, take the win, Hudson. Gap closed up that time, though. They have indeed closed up the gap on Nathan Hudson. Last time by was about 1.6 seconds. It's now down to about half a second. We could have as many as 5 drivers battling for this win with 2 laps to go. Hudson, Matthews, Alvarez, Sanford, and Flickinger still in this. Was Flickinger saving? Was Flickinger just biding his time? He might have been. Matthews now to the back bumper of Hudson. He's going to go to the inside for the race lead. 1.5 laps to go. Is it too early to be making this move? Alvarez, big run. He might think about going 3 wide into 3. Not quite going to get there, and Matthews wasn't able to make the move either. Hudson hangs on to the spot. There you saw Blaine Keys and Levi McIntyre. They will not play a factor into the outcome of this finish. Sanford trying to get the slipstream, trying to make it a 4-man fight. Flickinger might be too far back. White flag displayed one more time around. It's Hudson, Matthews, Alvarez, possibly Sanford if these guys get racy here on the back straightaway. Single file going down into turn 1. The 09-08 in the tire tracks of the 16. Sanford may have lost touch. It may now be down to just these 3 drivers. Who's going to step out of line here on the back straightaway? Someone's got to do it. Matthews isn't doing it. Alvarez isn't doing it. They may have waited too long. They might be trying to set up for turn 4, but I don't know if you can get a good enough run to be able to make the move on the inside line. Outside line's better off of turn 4. Here they come off of 4. Hudson went a little low, kind of stalled it a little bit. Matthews not going to make the move, though, and Nathan Hudson will hang on. Hudson will win the 3rd annual Clash at Daytona. And Michael Norman Motorsports starts the season off with a bang. How about Nathan Hudson? He was with Michael Norman Motorsports back in Season 2 as a non-charter driver in his rookie season. Comes back here in a reunion for Season 4 and takes the first checkered flag of the year in the Clash at Daytona, and that locks him into future clashes in upcoming seasons. And what kind of momentum is that going to give this Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet team heading into the Great American Race Daytona 500? Sessions should be complete. And indeed it is. Hudson with the win. Kyle Matthews there in 2nd. I don't know why Matthews didn't make a move. Maybe if he made a move, Alvarez wouldn't have gone with him. But still, Matthews with a solid run in 2nd. Alvarez there in 3rd place. Chevy's going to sweep the top 4 spots as Sanford comes home in 4th. Flickinger will finish in 5th place. Tim Walsh in 6th. McIntosh 7th. 8th place for JT Bryant. Cole Baker will get 9th. And Dylan Young in 10th. You take a look at the rest of the finishing results there. A lot of drivers had difficulty with pit road. Jessica Shelton spinning on the exit of pit road. That ended up causing from 12th on back to finish more than 9 seconds behind the race leaders, but that's where they finished. As far as our defending winners of this event, our Season 1 All-Star race, our first All-Star race, our first Clash winner, Joshua Zakuli, finished 11th. Anthony McCrae finished all the way back in the 17th position. How about Joshua Michaels? We saw him dominate this thing early on. He finishes the race in the 20th position, almost 30 seconds behind. A tough break there for Levi McIntyre. Blaine Keys never really even got a chance to get into this thing as they lost the draft early. They'll finish the race in 21st and 22nd. Well, up next, folks, we're going to be having our speed qualifying event for the non-charter drivers. Top 3 will get into the Daytona 500 based on their speed. The other 4 drivers will make their way in the last chance qualifying race and theoretically the first points race for the non-charter series of the Hersheys Cup Series. Then we'll see these drivers as well as a number of other drivers, the 35 chartered cars, take part in the Daytona 500 pole day qualifying, where our front row will be determined, and then we've got our Gatorade duels to determine the rest of the starting lineup for the Daytona 500. Then we cap it all off, of course, with the 4th annual running of the Great American Race Daytona 500. Who is it going to be? I can't wait to find out. I got a couple of guys in mind as some favorites to look at, but we'll have to see what happens during the continuation of the course of this week. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed tonight's Clash at Daytona. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew. Today we've shown you full finisher results. We'll see you guys as the Speed Weeks continue here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel, Offline Racing. At its best, Nathan Hudson is your winner of the 3rd annual Clash at Daytona.